Arsenal is about to enter an extremely tough phase, where even the smallest mistake could distance them from their most important objectives of the season. With crucial matches less than a month away, the team will face a relentless series of challenges. If you're a fan of the Gunners, brace yourself for a roller coaster of emotions, from extreme exhilaration to anxiety, spanning from the Premier League to the Champions League. Arsenal not only needs to secure points, but also prove their standing against strong opponents. The upcoming match against Bournemouth may seem easy, but as we all know, nothing is certain in football. With just a win against Bournemouth, Arsenal could rise to the top of the Premier League table, something every Gunners fan has been eagerly waiting for. With Manchester City and Liverpool playing on Sunday, Arsenal has a real chance to temporarily take the top spot and put pressure on their two direct competitors. This is the time for coach Mikel Arteta and his players to show that they are ready for the title race. After the Bournemouth game, Arsenal will enter a challenging run of matches in the Premier League, including strong opponents like Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea. If anyone thought the Bournemouth match was an easy start, the following fixtures will certainly be the real test. Facing Liverpool at home is always a huge challenge, given the impressive form of Arne Slot's side, who are never easy to deal with. Then comes Newcastle, a team no one wants to face at St. James Park, and finally Chelsea, who, despite showing signs of revival, always manage to make things difficult for Arsenal. Arsenal cannot afford to be complacent in any game, as every point dropped in this run could diminish their chances of competing for the title. Turning to the Champions League, Arsenal has two important matches ahead. First hosting Shakhtar Donetsk at the Emirates, and more notably, facing Inter Milan at the Giuseppe Meazza. Under Arteta, Arsenal is gradually proving itself on the European stage, and a win against Inter would not only bring 3 points but also serve as a statement of their standing. Beyond this series of tough matches, Arsenal faces another significant challenge: injuries. The team is heavily affected by injuries, with 9 players dealing with health issues, impacting their form and forcing the management to consider strengthening the squad in the upcoming winter transfer window. These injuries are not confined to one position but are spread across the team, putting immense pressure on Arteta and his coaching staff. Without timely solutions, Arsenal might have to pay the price in terms of their key objectives for the season. The question is, which players should Arsenal add? The winter transfer window will be a crucial time for them to strengthen their squad. A forward to ease the burden on Kai Havertz, a midfielder to share the load with Martin Odegaard, and possibly a reputable defender are all options worth considering. Additionally, young players like Emile Smith-Rowe are expected to contribute during this period. These reinforcements aren't just a long-term strategy, but an urgent solution to help Arsenal maintain their ambitions, especially as rivals like Manchester City boast much deeper squads. The next 7 matches will be the true measure of Arsenal's ambitions this season. It's not just about points. It's a test of their mentality and fighting spirit. If Arsenal can overcome this series of fixtures, their position in both the Premier League and Champions League will be strengthened. This will also provide a crucial psychological boost before the international break in November and further ahead, the January transfer window. In football, winning isn't always guaranteed, and that's a reality that every team, even the strongest, has to face. Arsenal has struggled after crucial losses in the past, but this time, Arteta and his players need to show more determination and resilience than ever. Unity, belief in the coach's philosophy, and team cohesion will be key factors for Arsenal to navigate this difficult phase. Not succumbing to pressure, Mikel Arteta has brought a different style of play to Arsenal since taking over, focusing on ball control and building from the back. However, when facing strong opponents like Liverpool or Chelsea, tactical flexibility will be the key to avoiding predictability. For Arteta, adapting to each opponent is crucial. Relying on the same tactics and expecting consistent results in every match won't work. Tactical versatility is what Arsenal needs to confront the big games. Against Liverpool, Arteta might consider using a quick counter-attacking strategy, capitalizing on the speed of players like Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli to exploit the spaces left behind by Liverpool's high pressing. Meanwhile, the game against Newcastle requires a different approach. Eddie Howe's team is known for their solidity and tight defensive setup, so Arteta will need to find a way to break that defense, perhaps through mid-range passes and wide play. Tactical flexibility and adjusting the game plan according to the opponent is what a top-tier team must do, and Arteta is gradually proving that he is capable of achieving this. There's no denying that injuries have greatly affected Arsenal's ambitions early in the season. The team has struggled with a series of injuries to key players like Martin Odegaard. This raises the question of squad depth. Does Arsenal have enough manpower to compete on multiple fronts? While Arteta has added quality players during the summer transfer window, when the main players are injured, the substitutes need to step up. This is the time for key stars like Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, and Declan Rice to prove their worth. Finally, when we look at this series of matches, we must put it into the context of Arsenal's long-term ambitions. The team is not just aiming for the Premier League title, but also wants to build a solid foundation for competing in Europe. The Champions League is not only a test, but also an opportunity for Arsenal to assert their status. A victory over major opponents like Inter Milan would not only bring 3 points, but also bolster the belief that they can compete with the top teams on the continent. It's a long journey that requires patience, but Arsenal is on the right path. The next 7 matches will be Arsenal's chance to prove their ambition. Each game carries its own strategic and psychological significance, from the Premier League title race to establishing dominance in the Champions League. Consistency will be the key to success, and this is the moment when Mikel Arteta and his players must demonstrate their mettle. If they can get through this period with positive results, Arsenal will not only hold on to their top position, but also build momentum for the next phase of the season. But if they falter, all hopes could quickly fade. This is a contest for the biggest teams, and Arsenal must prove that they are ready to face the greatest challenges. Prepare yourself, for Arsenal's journey ahead is a battle for the summit. The Gunners need to aim sharp, shoot strong, and leave no room for error.